Sometimes the biggest challenge for a government does not come from another country. It comes from its own people, and that is exactly where our next story is going to take us. Just a few moments ago, we spoke about Russia and Iran using a humanitarian event just to send a political message. But our next story takes us to Israel, where the biggest debate is no longer coming from outside the country. It is coming from within. Nearly 1,000 days have passed since the Hamas attack of October 7, 2023. It was one of the darkest days in Israel's modern history. In fact, hundreds of people lost their lives. Many were taken hostages. Entire communities were left devastated. Even today, the pain of that day continues to shape Israeli politics and Israeli society. Now, as Israel marked this painful milestone, ceremonies were held across the globe to remember those who died. Families gathered to honor their loved ones, while leaders paid tribute to the victims. But alongside those emotional moments, another powerful message was heard on the streets. Thousands of Israelis are now asking difficult questions. Could more have been done to prevent these attacks? Were intelligence agencies adequately prepared for that? Did the government respond quickly? Well, these questions have not disappeared with time. Instead, they have grown louder. Ladies and gentlemen, reports say that protests were held in Jerusalem where demonstrators demanded an independent investigation into everything that happened before, during, and after October 7th attack. Families of hostages also continued appealing to the government, saying that they still want answers and hope that those remaining in captivity will eventually return home. And this shows something important about democracies. Even during time of war, citizens continue asking questions. Governments continue facing scrutiny, and public debate never completely stops. In fact, former military leaders have also spoken publicly about the need to carefully study what exactly happened so that similar security failures can be prevented in future. In the meantime, supporters of the government, they argue that Israel faced an unprecedented attack and has since taken strong military action to defend itself. However, critics, they believe accountability is equally important. They say understanding past mistakes, it is essential for improving future security. These two opinions now exist side by side inside Israel itself. And that is why the political debate that remains intense. The October 7th attacks that changed the country forever. They reshaped national security policies, they influenced military operations, and they continue affecting political discussions almost every single day. And yes, beyond politics, there are thousands of ordinary families still waiting for closure. Now, many continue hoping that missing relatives will eventually return. Others simply want answers about what happened. For them, this is not just another political issue, right? This is deeply personal. And perhaps that is why emotions remain so strong even after all this time. The story reminds us that while wars may begin with weapons, their emotional impact often lasts for years maybe. And rebuilding public trust, it can sometimes be even more difficult than rebuilding damaged cities.